A night of fear. The Duggar family's darkest hours. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The early morning sun had barely begun to rise when the peaceful silence inside the Seewald home was shattered by a scream, short, sharp, and filled with terror. Jessa Seewald jolted awake, clutching her belly. A sudden wave of pain shot through her, stronger than anything she had felt in her previous deliveries. At first, she thought it was just another contraction, but when she looked down, she saw something that made her heart stop. Blood. A lot more blood than there should ever be. Her breath quickened, and her hands shook violently. Fear wrapped around her chest like a vice. Then she whispered, barely able to speak. "Ben, wake up, something's wrong." Ben Seewald shot upright, still blurry-eyed, but the moment he saw the fear on Jessa's face, everything inside him froze. What happened? "Jessa, talk to me." But Jessa couldn't answer. Another painful contraction hit, this one accompanied by a terrifying weakness that made her collapse back onto the mattress. "We need to go," Ben said, panic rising. "We need to go now." He took one step toward his shoes, and suddenly, his vision blurred. The room spun violently. He clutched his forehead, unable to stay on his feet. For weeks, Ben had been ignoring persistent chest pain and dizzy spells. He assumed it was exhaustion, fatherhood stress, or a lack of sleep. But now, at the worst possible time, his body was failing him. "Ben," Jessa gasped, watching him sway. "No, not now, please, not now." But Ben didn't answer. His knees buckled. He collapsed on the floor. Two emergencies at the same time. Jessa tried to move toward her fallen husband, but another wave of pain hit so hard she screamed. Her scream woke the children, who began crying in the hallway. The panic inside the house became overwhelming. Spurgeon ran to the living room, crying, "Papa." Mama Jessa tried to push herself toward her phone, but her arms felt too weak. Tears streamed down her face. She had never felt so helpless. In that moment, she somehow found the strength to grab her phone and dial 911. "Ma'am, stay calm," the operator instructed. "We're sending 2 ambulances. Do not move. Help is coming," but calm was impossible. 2 emergencies. 1 house. 1 mother bleeding heavily, 1 father unconscious on the floor, and 4 small children crying in fear. Minutes felt like hours. Jessa felt herself drifting in and out of consciousness as the bleeding worsened. "Not my baby," she sobbed. "Please God, not my baby." The ambulance arrives when the paramedics burst through the front door. They froze at the sight, a scene of pure chaos. One team rushed toward Jessa. "Severe hemorrhage," one medic said. "Her blood pressure is crashing." Another team rushed toward Ben, pulse weak. BP dangerously low. Possible cardiac involvement. The children cried harder as strangers carried both of their parents out on stretchers. Jessa's hand slipped downward as she tried to reach for her husband. "Ben, stay awake, don't leave me." Ben's eyes fluttered open slightly, but he couldn't speak. The ambulances sped away, one heading toward the maternity emergency unit, the other toward the cardiac wing. 2 lives hanging in the balance, a baby's life at risk, a family bracing for the worst. The family gets the cell. All the Duggar family was asleep when the phone rang at the big house. Jim Bob answered, expecting a wrong number, but when he heard the trembling voice of the paramedic, every muscle in his body turned cold. Michelle rushed to his side, fear already written across her face. "What happened? Is it Jessa? Is it Ben?" Jim Bob didn't answer immediately. His voice cracked as he finally whispered both of them. "It's bad. Jess is bleeding." Ben collapsed. "They're taking them to 2 different hospitals." Michelle covered her mouth, tears forming instantly. Within minutes, the Duggar home erupted in movement. Siblings waking up, grabbing clothes, calling other siblings, piling into cars. Jana began organizing the little ones. Joy cried quietly while packing emergency bags. Jill immediately started calling hospitals. The Duggar family had seen hard days before, but nothing like this. Jessa's fight for life. In the maternity emergency unit, doctors rushed Jessa onto a table. "She's losing too much blood, prep for emergency C-section, get her vitals stabilized." Jessa was dizzy, hearing the voices around her as if they were underwater. Her vision blurred. Her fingers felt numb. She was slipping away, and all she could think was, Please let my baby live. A nurse gripped her hand. Stay with us, Jessa. Your baby needs you. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she whispered, Ben, is he okay? But no one had answers. Ben's diagnosis across the city. Ben lay unconscious as cardiologists worked around him. Severe arrhythmia, potential viral myocarditis, possible heart failure episode triggered by stress. The doctor shook his head. How long has he been having symptoms? The paramedic answered. The wife said he's been ignoring them. The doctor sighed. That man is lucky to be alive. Ben slowly regained consciousness, but he felt weak, like his chest was being crushed. Jessa, he whispered. Where's Jessa? The doctor placed a hand on his shoulder. She's in another hospital. She was in critical condition when they brought her in. Ben's eyes immediately filled with tears. No, she can't die. His voice cracked with a pain deeper than any medical condition. But the stress made his heart rhythm spike again. Ben, calm down, the nurse warned. You need to stay stable, or you will go into cardiac arrest. But how could he calm down? His wife was fighting for her life. His baby was at risk. His children were at home crying, and he was stuck in a bed, unable to help. The Duggar family arrived at the maternity hospital first. Michelle ran inside, breathless, asking for her daughter. Is she alive? Please tell me she's alive. The nurse placed a gentle hand on her arm. She is in surgery. It's very serious, but the doctors are doing everything they can. Jim Bob swallowed hard, fighting tears. What about the baby? He asked. The nurse hesitated, and that hesitation was enough to break Michelle's heart. We won't know until the surgery is complete. Jill hugged her mother tightly as Michelle sobbed quietly into her shoulder. It's too much, Michelle whispered. Both my child and her husband, both fighting to live. Jana wiped her tears while holding the younger siblings, who were scared and confused. Joy sat in a chair, praying with trembling hands. Jinger called from Los Angeles, crying over the phone. The entire family was shattered. The baby arrives inside the operating room. The doctor's voice cut through the tension. We have to move quickly. She's losing too much blood. Baby's heart rate is dropping. Begin incision. Minutes pass like hours, and then a sharp, beautiful cry. The baby is out. We have a heartbeat. Even in her weakened state, Jessa heard it. Her eyes opened slightly. A tear slid down her cheek. My baby's alive, but she didn't have the strength to stay awake. As the doctors worked to stop her bleeding, Jessa slipped into unconsciousness. Prepare for transfusion. She's slipping into shock. The situation was still life-threatening, but the baby was alive. A long night of fear. The Duggar family waited for hours. Jinga stayed on video call the entire time. Jana held the baby's blanket in her hands, praying. Jim Bob couldn't sit. He just paced the hallway over and over. Michelle cried silently, refusing to leave the door. When the doctor finally walked into the waiting room, every head turned. Michelle grabbed Jim Bob's arms so tightly her knuckles turned white. Tell us, she whispered. Tell us everything. The doctor took a breath. Your daughter survived the procedure, but barely. A collective gasp filled the room. She lost a dangerous amount of blood. She is stable now, but she will remain under observation for the next 48 hours. Michelle burst into tears, thanking God repeatedly. What about the baby? Jim Bob asked with trembling voice. The doctor smiled softly. The baby is healthy. A little weak from the stress, but stable. Relief washed over the room like a wave. But then the doctor's face grew serious again. There is something else. Everyone froze. Her husband, Ben, is in the cardiac hospital. We received an update. His condition is critical. Michelle felt the floor slip beneath her. Ben's turning point at the cardiac hospital. Machines beeped steadily around Ben. He lay weak, pale, and terrified. His nurse entered with gentle eyes. Ben, your wife and baby made it. The relief on his face was overwhelming. He cried not silent tears, but deep, shaking sobs. But the nurse wasn't finished. You need treatment immediately. Your heart condition is serious. You ignored symptoms for too long. Ben swallowed painfully. Did I just want to be strong for my family? Being strong, the nurse said softly, means staying alive for them. Reunion of fear the next day. After hours of negotiation and medical permission, they wheeled Ben into Jessa's hospital room. Jessa was awake now, pale and exhausted but alive. When she saw Ben being rolled in, hooked to tubes, weak, eyes swollen, She broke into tears. Ben, oh my goodness, I thought I'd lost you. He reached out his trembling hand. I thought I'd lose you too. Their fingers touched, and for a moment, the machines, the fear, the pain, everything melted away. The baby was brought in, tiny and wrapped in a soft blanket. Ben cried seeing his child. Jessa kissed the baby's head. They were alive, together, bruised, broken, and shaken, but together. The family gathers. The Duggar family filled the room. Not loudly, not energetically, but quietly, respectfully, emotionally. Michelle embraced her daughter. You scared us so badly, but we're so grateful you're here. Jim Bob placed a trembling hand on Ben's shoulder. You need to take care of your health, son. Your family needs you. The siblings hugged Jessa one by one. Joy cried openly. Jill kept thanking God. Jana held the baby for a moment and whispered a prayer. Jinger cried through the phone. It felt like a miracle, the painful, terrifying miracle. Recovery and hope over the next week. Jessa slowly regained strength. Ben began heart treatment. The baby grew stronger. The family provided 24/7 support. The children visited with handmade cards. The doctors praised Jessa's resilience. They told Ben he narrowly escaped heart failure. The couple had faced the darkest night of their lives but survived. And survival changed them. They became gentler, more thankful, more emotional, more aware of how fragile life truly is. A new beginning. Weeks later, when Jessa finally returned home carrying her newborn, the house no longer felt fearful. It felt sacred. Ben, though still recovering, held the baby close and whispered, I'm never wasting another moment. Jessa kissed his cheek, and I'm never taking life for granted again. The children hugged them tightly. The home was filled with laughter again. A night of terror had turned into a story of strength, a story of survival, a story of faith, and a reminder that life can be fragile, but hope is stronger.